My husband secretly removed my name from his brother's wedding guest list, but he had no idea that I was the hidden owner of the very hall, catering company and luxury hotel where they were planning to celebrate. They never even imagined that the real game had only just begun. My hands froze on the list when I saw my name crossed out. It wasn't a typo and it wasn't a misunderstanding. It had been done deliberately. I had endured years of my husband's family weddings, funerals, graduations, every gathering, whether they had ever fully accepted me or not. But having my name quietly erased from the list like that carried a strange dagger-like sting. As if someone had just informed me that I had never truly been part of the family at all. Jason peeked in through the doorway, wearing the expression of someone who desperately wanted to look innocent. "Oh, you saw the list?" I didn't answer. I just watched the nervousness flicker in his eyes, the kind he tried to bury under casual indifference. It was a family decision. We just wanted to avoid drama. This was the same man I had stood beside through property tax notices, eviction warnings, student loans, and 3 separate layoffs. The same man for whom I had taken extra night shifts at a roadside diner so he could finish his HVAC technician certification. And now he stood there as if deleting me from a guest list was as simple as erasing a line from a draft. I folded the list, placed it back on the table and said only, "Okay." He didn't realize I wasn't surrendering. I was simply unlocking a door I had kept closed for years, the one behind which my real power waited. Power that had always been in my name but that I had chosen never to use. I had wanted peace, not war. The venue where the wedding was scheduled, Harborview Event Center, I had purchased 6 years earlier when the previous owner faced bankruptcy. I had risked my life savings and taken out a bold loan to rescue it. Silver Fork Catering, the company handling the reception, was a business I had co-founded with 2 partners. And the luxury hotel where out-of-town guests had booked rooms, Mariner's Stay, was owned by my LLC, not by me personally. No one, including Jason, had ever bothered to look that closely. And still I said nothing. Because those who have been forced into silence for years understand the particular satisfaction of a quiet reckoning. 2 weeks before the wedding, I visited Harborview. Lisa, the venue manager, smiled when she saw me. "Everything good? You look unusually calm." I gave her a concise version of my plan. She nearly burst out laughing, her face turning red as she tried to contain it. "That's savage," she whispered. "But also deserved." I shrugged. They never imagined the real story wasn't over. On the wedding day, Jason's family arrived to find the hall beautifully decorated. Up until 2 hours before guests were scheduled to enter. And then the moment came when everything shifted. I gave Lisa a nod. She gathered the staff. "Operation Frostbite," she said under her breath, the joking code name we had assigned it. 10 minutes later, the hall lights went out. There were startled gasps, hurried footsteps, confused murmurs. No screaming, just one question repeated over and over. "What's happening?" Then I walked in. Calmly. No theatrics. I wore a navy coat, my hair pulled back neatly, a clipboard in my hand like any ordinary manager overseeing logistics. But when I stepped to the center of the stage, every eye lifted toward me. Megan, Jason's brother's fiancée, looked panicked. "Excuse me, who are you?" I inhaled slowly. "I'm the woman your fiancé's family removed from the wedding list." Jason stepped forward. "What are you doing?" "Sharing the truth," I interrupted, unfolding a document. "This venue. This catering company. That hotel. They're all mine." The silence that followed felt like oxygen had been drained from the room. "You thought removing a woman from a list would end the story?" I continued evenly. "No. The real turning point comes when you believe you've won, only to discover the ground beneath you was never yours." Jason stood frozen. In his eyes I saw something painfully familiar, helplessness. "Why are you doing this?" he asked, his voice thin. "Because you started it." I paused, letting the weight of that settle. "The wedding will not be cancelled," I said clearly. "I don't ruin celebrations. But from this moment forward, you will all use this venue, the catering, and the accommodations as guests, without paying a single dollar. Consider it a final gift." My gaze met Jason's. "After today our paths separate." Megan approached me carefully. "This doesn't feel like revenge," she said softly. "It feels like grace." For the first time I allowed myself a faint smile. Revenge doesn't always shout. Sometimes it simply demonstrates that every attempt to break you only made you stronger. The ceremony began nearly an hour late, but it unfolded beautifully. The music resumed. The guests eventually relaxed. Conversations softened. Laughter returned. I stood in the corner watching it all, as though witnessing something bloom that had long been clenched in a fist. Jason found me near the back of the hall. "I misjudged you," he said quietly. "We both misjudged each other." He hesitated. "If you want to talk." "No," I said gently but firmly. "We've had enough talks. Some decisions can't be undone. Like the moment you chose to erase my name. There was nothing left to negotiate." I stepped outside. The air was cold, sharp against my skin, but inside I felt an unfamiliar calm, the kind that comes when you finally recognize your own worth after years of questioning it. As I walked across the parking lot, the lights of Harborview glowing behind me, I understood something clearly. This hadn't been about humiliation or spectacle. It had been a reminder. Not just to them but to myself. For years I had mistaken silence for weakness. I had believed that keeping peace meant shrinking myself, softening my edges, accepting less. I had thought love required endurance at any cost. But love without respect erodes quietly. And respect, once withdrawn, cannot be restored with apologies alone. In the end, I didn't need to destroy anything. I didn't need to scream or expose secrets. I simply revealed the truth that had always been there. Sometimes the greatest victory in life isn't crushing the people who tried to diminish you. It's calmly proving that you were never small to begin with. When someone attempts to erase you and you respond not with chaos but with clarity, that is power. And as I drove away, leaving the celebration behind me, I realized something else. This wasn't revenge. It was recognition. I had never been weak. I had only been quiet. If this story resonated with you, if you believe in strength, self-respect, and quiet power, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more powerful real-life inspired stories. Your support truly means everything. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.